Now we
Okay,
are.
you see it now?
Yep.
Michael, we just did our greatest
You did a fabulous
15 minutes
show.
of radio, and nobody fucking heard us.
It's
See, I really,
like
it's one of my huge faults, and I just filled out a thing with StreamYard yesterday. It's one of my huge faults with this system that they have is that you have to click this thing twice to put it on the air. And
you just did a fabulous show that you'll never hear,
yeah,
never see.
we'll never hear it. We
We
did.
weren't
We
we,
had
we
Clarence
weren't listening.
Frogman Henry. We just gave you the greatest radio format idea of the century, and just explain New Jersey geography to you in a way that you would have never gotten it explained in any classroom
And
in
two
the
separate
United States
references
of
to sock
America,
hops, high school sock hops, which I
all
guess
including the Catholic Church.
I think they started the sock hop because they had it in the gym and they had the gym floor resurfaced. They don't want to ruin it with your saddle shoes and your beetle boots and your taps on your brogans. So you would dance in your socks, and that would not damage the basketball floor. And that became the sock hop,
That was
which got
soccer.
shortened to just a hop. So it would be Bobby Dale would come from KFWB to your high school in Gardenia or Al or
Wherever the hell Bobby Dale wanted to go.
wherever he wanted to go. The Hyperion sewage plant in El Segundo, California, would host the sock hop. If you had the cash, Bobby would show.
Yep. And it would be, well, Michael, I can be excused. I'm sorry. I apologize. Um, I spent the night in the hospital last night, so I'm a little off this morning.
What's going on?
Well, just another episode here where I had to just lie in a hospital and get various things shoved down my throat until I figured out which was the right one to extract whatever was lodged between my esophagus and my thyroid. That's my full medical report right there. Um,
Well, we're glad
and
you're out and feeling better.
yeah, I mean, I came home. I was up until 6 o'clock, and about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and finally fell asleep, and woke up 2 minutes before the show started. So I apologize for that grievous error. That shouldn't happen. Um,
Well, it's a
I
Freaky Fractious Friday, and it's not as late in the hour, but I do ask this question on Fridays. Yo, Vinny, what are you driving?
well, hellified, Michael. I am driving. Let's. I just, yeah. This is my thing. I was sending you a note last night, to tell you that I wasn't sure if I was going to be on, if I was going to be able to make the show today, and I wrote a couple of things, and I wrote my closing line was they don't have enough brains to put us on the weekends. Neither does KJR. Bunch of idiots. And of course, then I do the most stupidest thing of all. Um, okay, what am I driving? I'm driving Michael. I'm driving a car that I love. I'm driving,
That's good.
Michael. The probably for the money, the best car that you
In the
can
market.
buy these days for under $40,000.
Not a long list.
It's not, but if you want to get up off your ass and search or call somebody like me and have them search for you, you can find them. And one of the cars that I have found consistently fit the bill
Mm-hmm.
for this type of car is the Mazda 3.
Wow.
It can be had in a sedan, it can be had in a hatchback, It is uniquely enough styled so that it can be, it has enough room in it that you're not constantly feeling squashed into this thing. It has a bit of styling that's reminiscent of, in some ways, a Volkswagen Jetta, or one of those smaller Volkswagens of the 90s.
Like a Golf.
Yeah, yeah, it's got a little Golf in it. I wouldn't say that if you stopped the Mazda engineer in the street and said, "You dirty bastard, you stole an idea from the Volkswagen Golf," if they had any integrity, they couldn't say that they lied to you and said I didn't, because
They did.
they took the part of the basics of it. It's not recognizable as a Golf, but yet, to me, it is um, recognizable as a Volkswagen Golf. It has those characteristics to it.
And it's the
Oh,
Mazda 3.
it's a Mazda 3. This is the Skyactiv Turbo version. That's your phone, actually. It has a different bunch of. Has the hatchback. It has a sedan type configuration, and up until a few years ago, it had a station wagon configuration, but they decided to cut that out because everybody knew that station wagons were going out of style. It's just a rock solid car. It's one of the most reliable cars that you'll drive. It's one of the most low cost cars to drive mechanically that you can drive. It is a comfortable car. It has space. It has room. It's got groove. It's got feeling.
What about electronics? Did they scale back on their
It
investment
is
in tech?
not overly technical. As a matter of fact, if there's one criticism of the Mazda 3, it's that they have not caught up with the times, or not kept up with the times, as
No,
far as electronics, as far
no.
as
What
high
about
tech stuff.
got a camera for backing up?
Got a camera for backing it up. It's got a little camera for going forward. It's got comfortable seats. It has the things you essentially need to drive your vehicle where you're going to get it, and to stay in the lane for which you have chosen to stay in. But it doesn't have oodles and oodles of tech stuff. And I like that. For those of us who have welcomed the coming of the Slate, which is the new pickup that's coming down the road, getting ready to be released any day now, where basically you take your cell phone and you plug it into the dashboard,
And that's
and
your tech.
everything that you need to operate the car, as far as navigation, all works off of the dashboard and your
It's a good
cell
idea.
phone,
Good idea.
because you're basically carrying around more power in your cell phone than any of the Apollo ships took to the moon with them.
Houston, we have a cell phone.
You have all of that in the power of your cell phone that you can plug into your Bluetooth in your dashboard. They've tricked you as Americans into wanting to have all of this stuff, but the reality is everything that you need in the world to operate your car safely is all in here, if you connect it up right. If you get it. So anyway, so I am driving the Mazda 3 this week. I just got it yesterday. This is the third or fourth one I've driven of this generation of Mazda 3s. They had a Mazda 3 a few years ago that came out. They had a division called Mazda Speed, and those were pretty close to a racing car. Yeah, pretty close to a racing car. Fast, agile, very, very perfectly balanced. Steering is some of the best you'll find handling in a car. The Japanese went to work on this act when they put it together.
So they invested in engineering, but they kept the price low.
Right. Now, well, in many ways, I mean, it's still a higher price than you're going to pay for a Volkswagen Rabbit or whatever they're calling it this week, the Golf. But the reality is it was just flat out one of the best cars out there I thought that you could buy. I still think it's the best car you could buy, or one of the best cars you could buy. And the Mazda ceased to manufacture the Mazda Speed a number of years ago. It's probably close to 10 years now, or 8 years, or something like that they ceased to produce the Mazda Speed. But it doesn't mean the car got any worse. They didn't strip everything out of it. They just stopped including a lot of stuff. But a lot of the stuff was still left in there. And for a vehicle to come along with all of this stuff in it now as standard equipment, this is quite a feat of engineering and quite a feat of a well-handling, robustly driven, if you drive it robustly, car. That's
are these on the market, or are they sold out because of the price?
People aren't smart enough to buy them. That seems to be the problem. Now, they've gotten better at buying them. They have gotten people have gotten better because Michael, it's a car.
Yeah.
And we unfortunately in the greatest country, the greatest automaking country on the face of the earth, people have decided that we need big SUVs. And the stupidity of Americans never ceases to fail you when you start to look at these things, because you have this perfectly designed car that should be more than any human being needs in any one of these price classes. You know, from a mini small car right up to a big honking big sedan, SUV type vehicle. But we have to keep up with the Joneses, and therefore we get shortchanged on many of these vehicles. But this is my thoughts on the Mazda have always been, it is way more car than you get for your money. It's way more car than probably most people should legally try to drive. And I've just always been impressed with what they've done with their engines, with everything about a Mazda. The only problem with the Mazda that I have been able to foresee is that these cars are built for people that enjoy driving cars, not for people that think that a car is an appliance. You know, that a car is something that you get in it and you just wheel it around a block to get you from point A to point B. That would be a failing on your part, because these cars are stunningly beautiful enough to stop you in your tracks and let you experience these cars, even in a base model that doesn't, have all of the bells and whistles, has the things that basically you could take this and plug it into the dashboard and you'd be okay. Mazda has done that with this car, has given you that opportunity to drive that kind of car, but because it does have a sexy name like a Volkswagen or a Kia or some of these cars, it doesn't quite get um, the allure of some of the other vehicles that are out there. But it is a damn fine car. It is a car that will give you hours and hours of not just driving pleasure, but um, transportation excellence. You know, so that's what I'm driving this. I know that was kind of a long-winded, roundabout explanation, but it's just a great car that probably most Americans don't deserve to get a chance to drive because they're not smart enough to see what's in front of them. Um, but on the off chance that you did finish the sixth grade and that you understand the value of things like movement and flow and beauty and so many of the things that we take for granted for in today's transportation market in favor of uh, colored hubcaps or something like that. The Mazda is a great little car to drive. When you're driving this little car up the road and you're going through some curves or you're going through menopause or you're going through anything, um, it will get you through it. So that's what I'm driving this week. I don't have any pictures because I didn't. I would have gone out early this morning and taken pictures of it, but I just didn't. I'm trying to see if I actually have a picture of this vehicle. Um, but I don't. I just don't
Tomas,
think
the
I.
30-pound cat, has arrived to say good morning to
Oh,
me.
hello, Thomas. How are you? We could put an engine and a rear end in Tomas and probably put him out there for 36K.
38. He said 38 is his base price. He's not gonna budge.
We could send Tomas out there with a cell phone strapped to his back and
That's all you need. That'll get you to come carry.
get you right down the main street to the food truck park that they've for the first time this year put into Tucumcari. Um, but yeah, so that's what I'm driving this week. I'm extremely. I always get excited when I probably driven a lot of Mazdas this year, almost probably more than any other car. And I've just had a falling in love with these vehicles because they're just so well done, without a lot of waste and a lot of power, a lot of handling, and a lot of pleasure of driving. So we'll talk about them more tomorrow morning
11 o'clock.
at 11 o'clock for drive time. I know we didn't have a show last week. We had some technical difficulties. My whole fucking life is a technical difficulty, to be
Ain't
honest
it the
with you.
truth?
But we'll try to get this thing rolling off at 11 o'clock or thereabouts. And got a few interesting things, including we'll check in with our friends at Car Edge to find out the top 10 slowest selling cars of the period of the month, of why July and August seems to have presented this slowdown in vehicles that should be moving pretty good. And I
There's a
think a
little
few of
hole
the
in the
names.
economy, perhaps you've noticed.
Yes, no,
A
I
lot
didn't
of
notice
it,
that.
a lot of it
I
affects
voted for
the
Trump.
operation of a. Yeah.
I didn't. I voted for Trump, so I don't notice anything. Um, but we'll have that. We'll talk about where those cars place and which cars, and we're going to go out today to hunt for a spot to put the Joe Riccici Memorial Road Test course. That is something that I've been it's been a little pet project of mine for many years, and I have the sign. I have a couple of places picked out. I have a envelope full of money in my pocket, and we're gonna try to buy an inch by inch square of real estate today to put this sign on.
Not in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
No, this will be
Something in Washington State.
This will be in Washington State. It'll be probably somewhere located along 530, Route 530. And I will say to you now that if you have a piece of property that is along 530 and you would like to, or Route 20, and you'd like to throw this piece of property into the mix for us to mount a sign on, we're not going to move in. We're not going to do anything but put a sign that says Joe Riccici Memorial Road Test Course. We'll mount the sign. We'll put it up ourselves. We'll maintain the sign. It's a regular green and white highway department sign.
Right.
And you would get endless accolades and mentions. You would become part of the family of our show, and so it's a good idea for you to think about doing something along these lines, and saying, Vinny, I don't remember when I've been presented an opportunity like this. Who knows? We might even get you a pair of concert tickets to something. I'm no guarantees though.
And it's a place where you can take your cars to prove them on the.
It's just the sign. No, Michael, it's just the sign. It's the sign that sits on the side of the road to have people think that there is a Joe Riccici Memorial Road Test Course, because I've come up with the idea that if the President of the United States can bold-faced lie to people and tell them things that aren't true or true, why can't I, Vinne Riccici, son of Joe Riccici, put up a sign that says that this is the Memorial Road Test Course, even though none really exists?
Well, I think in the years of Trump, in the time of Trump, that's an honorable waste of our time.
I think it's. I think we've come up with something here. Why not name it? If you can put a Saint Adolphus sign on the side of a church and call it Saint Adolphus, why can't I put a sign on the side of a building and say it's that Memorial Road Test Course?
Honored by the Spopakian ambassador to the United Nations.
Well, you know what? I don't want to mention that because it's not finalized yet, but I would think that in a not too distant future, you should be able to buy a copy of the Declaration of Joe Riccici Day in Slovakia.
It's a national holiday. It's a 3-day weekend.
I would think that that event is not far off and very liable to happen here, a little closer to his birthday. But it is something that you will be able to proudly mount on your wall, and or buy a framed version of it for, I don't know, $19.
T-shirt version would be very nice.
Yeah, and proudly wear that. So I apologize again for fucking up our show.
We had the good side of that, Vinny, is it was so wonderful. People will rue the day that they missed it.
You know that's very true, Michael. That's so true because it really. I mean, we had. I mean, you think about it for a second. We packed more into that first 15 minutes of our show this morning that didn't get put out over the internet, and that I, is a failure of a technical whiz, uh, didn't record. And the irony in the whole thing is what were we talking about? The failure of 1930s radio people to record their shows,
Just let them
to
go.
have them. And in that lies the irony of Vincent Riccici.
Well,
I
I
mean, that
share
could be my book. The irony. But I had fun doing it with you. We hit on some. If you were, you know what? In many ways, it was the best because we really talked about some stuff that was near and dear to our heart. We gave you as good a description of Clarence Frogman Henry and his band,
good band.
a great band that included a Barefoot's Robert Parker
Yep.
doing some kind of dance that I don't know.
He was doing the twist.
And who was the guy? No, the first guy that came out was doing the twist, wasn't he? Or was he doing something else?
He was doing an in-place stage dance, simple moves.
Yeah, something moves. And the two maybe really coolest high school dancers, or we think they're high school dancers, we don't know. But whoever fits size 6, get backstage quick, put this on,
Put it
and
on.
get out there. And that's what we had. Um, it was one of those days that we were so good. We were too good for our own.
The equipment couldn't capture it. That's how good we were. We're above and beyond the standards of broadcast equipment.
We gave you a complete lesson of New Jersey geography up until including the Springsteen Plains, which are not to be confused with Scotch Plains, New Jersey.
And an analysis of Jimmy Buscemi appearing in The Sopranos.
We
I think he got shotgunned on a porch.
yes, yeah, he got it on the porch. You know, that was the sad thing about all of that Soprano shit is that somebody always got it. You know?
It's a business where whacking is part of
Except
the deal.
who was the one death? And I know we got to go here in a minute, but was there one person that really broke your heart to see get it on The Sopranos?
Oh. Well, there was Big Pussy. You were sort of invested in his life, but he asked for it and he got it.
He violated the rule.
And they all knew it.
Yeah, it was one of the major failings of the Soprano organization was that they all, in their own ways, knew that that he was ratting them out, that something wasn't right.
Same
Our
thing with
good,
Adrian.
yeah, Adrian was interesting. You know, Adrian. You know, it's funny because Adrian was an interesting character in that, or an interesting study in that you didn't 100% know that she was going to get it. You figured somehow at the last minute that Silvio was going to like put her in the car with Christopher and say, here's a bag full of money.
You
Get
guys
your
get out
car,
of here.
start driving west,
Don't
and
stop.
don't ever come back here. You know?
That was one solution, but then you're trusting Christopher, and that's not a wise bet.
Right. And that was a very bad. He had just made too many mistakes. His chronicle of bad choices
It was
were
lengthy.
just too big. That you couldn't do that. But there was still that one piece of it that said to me somehow that they were that he had done so much good for the family that he would get that almost unheard of, but yet always a chance to be present golden parachute, which in mafia terms is we let you live.
Don't hope that your future is not guaranteed to getting the golden parachute. Chances are you're not, and if you're told you're going to get it, chances are you're never going to get it.
Well, yeah, if you ever hear that it's mentioned, because if it happens, it's just not, it always makes me laugh to hear these guys and women too, but mostly guys that will talk about these guys like Michael Franzese and these other mob guys that have somehow eluded the reach of the mafia.
I think they're in the Joey Gallo club.
And they think that they have been able to get past it. And the reality is, you don't get past anything.
Every time.
It's the cardinal rule. Why my father told me many, 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 many years ago is you just don't get involved with these people.
It's too easy to misstep your way
Don't
into
do
a
them
short.
favors. Don't do them. Be respectful of them, because they certainly hold a lot of power. They certainly hold a lot of, but they hold grudges. They're not intelligent people, so they don't reason things out in a way that would make sense to you. As you felt the cold metal of a bullet going through your heart, you
That'll
would ask,
happen.
"Why the fuck did I ever trust this guy?" And the problem is they're untrustable. So it was always to me. You just had to know that going in.
Yeah. There's
And
no way
it's
to play
why
ball.
I heeded as much of my father's. There aren't a lot of things I heeded my father's advice about.
Like
Um,
that seemed to be accurate information.
uh, you know, putting down the toilet seat, bringing flowers, and not getting involved with guys that hung out in social clubs on 18th Avenue.
Don't do any favors for Carmine.
Was always, and if you have to do a favor for Carmine, always make sure that it's done at a distance. That you're not directly involved, because Carmine will rat you out, give
First
you up
thing in the morning.
as fast as he can if it saves his ass. He's not going to save your ass for nothing. But yet, we all knew people in the neighborhood that, I'm
Thought it'd be a
smarter
good
than these
idea.
guys.
Yeah.
I'm smarter than these guys.
I
know
sussed
this.
it out. I figured it out. And he can't possibly come back to harm me.
Really. By the way, our guide, our good friend Lou Bucci this morning from Pittsburgh, great guy. I knew him in my time in Pittsburgh. I still know him, but got to know him in my time in Pittsburgh, and he says that it's undoubtedly Big P. And it's hard to disagree with that because of the closeness of he and Tony, and just the guy, is funny. You got to, and I met Vincent Pastore once. Actually got to sit in the same row that he did at a Springsteen show in the Meadowlands. Which, if you're going to meet somebody from The Sopranos, where else? I remember saying to him,
What a place to meet.
And I cracked him up. He actually really thought it was funnier than I thought it was. I said, you're so close to Miami Steve, and these are the best he could do for you. Because we were sitting up. We weren't sitting down like you would figure, first row of the pit,
Right.
somewhere close. We were up. Evidently, Vincent did not have the pull with little Steven that he thought he did.
Or he had it, but it's no longer in effect.
Or somebody stole his tickets, one or the other. But anyway, he was but from the few minutes I met him, he seemed to be a nice guy. He didn't have an attitude. He stopped and talked, and it was more of a kin of meeting a guy, standing next to him at a bar, waiting for your drink,
Yeah.
and talking to him a couple of minutes, and connecting the humanity between the two people. Then
Jersey
just
style.
yeah, then just who the fuck are you? Who the fuck So,
And
but good morning, Lou.
He just passed recently. Vincent did.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Well, then you have a good show tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We'll be tuning in across the nation.
I'd like to think that. I'd like to think that somewhere in Tucumcari there's somebody sitting or standing on the side of a 62 GMC panel truck with brightly painted with Mexican colors of some kind and some really great food coming out of the side of it. Just mere moments before the food comes out of the side of you.
El Pastor.
Yeah. So, see you tomorrow. No, I won't see you tomorrow. See you Monday. I will try to be that was my doctor calling me there a few minutes ago. I already know what he's going to tell me.
What's
So
he going to tell you?
He'll
give you a clean bill of health and some advice.
Yeah, stop smoking. Which I had said to the doctor once. I don't smoke. Stop anyway.
Please, then all the better reason to stop. Stop today.
Stop now.
Have a good day, Ben. Have a good weekend.
All right, I'll see you on Monday if the Lord's will and the streets don't rise. If the Lord's will and the creek don't rise. Peace, love, and Manischewitz.
If the street rises, we got a problem.
Does it all matter anymore?
What a wine is all I'm going to say. What an incredibly sweet wine.
And in the words of the great Reginald Van Gleason, and away we go.
See you, Ben.
See you, Mike. Thank you all for listening. We'll catch up with you on Monday. Bye-bye now.